Hello, welcome back to Viewer's Toys 2013, the real old people power.
Free your mind.
So, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the teachers that you remember on a good note?
I remember actually a good handful of teachers on a good note. No.
Do some shout-outs. Name.
Well, there was my math teacher, Miss Codner. She was a freaking kick-ass math teacher. She wouldn't take no shit. She would joke around with you, but at the same time, if you pissed her off, broke one of her rules, she would make you remember it. Because I seem to remember a time where this smart little bitch wouldn't stop playing with her phone, even though she told her multiple times. And at one point, she told her that I would take your phone and throw it outside. And that's exactly what she did. And it happened to be raining that day.
Oh.
Boo-hoo for you, bitch. What about you?
Okay, I got a couple. Mrs. Fernsides, my arts and humanity teacher from 11th and 12th grade years.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun lady. She was strict, firm, consistent, but also liked to have fun and joke around in her own type of sense of humor. She had a
Bless you.
she had a dry sense of humor.
Mm.
Excuse me, people. She had a dry sense of humor, but it was a funny sense of humor, and people loved her. I mean, it's one of those teachers that even the badass kids paid attention to because she still cared about the students, you know?
Mm.
Then there was, alongside her was Mrs. Boyer, okay? I liked Mrs. Binder. Then Mrs. Luca.
Another one that I liked was my health teacher, Mrs. Towns. She was the most comical fucking teacher ever. It was her class. I mean, of course, she had to give us, the boring assignments and make us watch the boring movies. But at the same time, she would make the shit extremely hilarious. Like at one point, she said something about gangrenous penis. And I forgot what kind of context she put in, but basically she was like, be careful who you sleep with, or you're going to get gangrenous penis and your junk's going to fall off. I was crying in that damn desk. And then she made this funny analogy about assuming. And she was like, never, ever, ever assume, because you'll make an ass out of you and me. You don't get it? Assume. Separate it. ASS. Ass, you, me. Ass, you, me. Get it? Got it? Good.
So we named some teachers that were good teachers that we like,
Mm-hmm.
and that we believe were good teachers.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, there are some horrible teachers that just don't care about their jobs. They don't care about their students. They're only there to get a paycheck and go home. They don't care about proper learning. They don't care about helping a person progress, even if they're a troublemaker or a hard ass.
True.
Sometimes if you show them a little bit more,
Yep.
lots of times they'll turn their attitude around. But a lot of teachers just don't care anymore.
Yeah. A lot of these are just dicks for no fucking reason at all.
And then they give you like a ton of homework knowing that there ain't no fucking way you're going to get it done.
Right. Then they make you study for shit that's most likely ain't even on the test, which majority of the time, for certain of the asshole teachers, was pretty much accurate.
Yeah. There are teachers out there who just don't care.
Yeah.
And it makes the teachers that do care
Look like assholes too.
look like assholes too.
Because then as soon as I'm like, oh, you're just like them, you're gonna be an asshole too, I'm gonna hate you.
It's like there's a lot of teachers like for instance, Mrs. Burnside. One time I fell asleep in her class, she didn't wake me up to the end of the school year. In a school day, not school year.
I was like, wow.
That's what the entire school year.
For real.
Oh no, she didn't wake me up until the end of the school day.
Mm.
Right? And she covered for me.
He covered for you.
She said I was sick and wasn't feeling good, so she let me sleep in the class.
Fun.
So, but that's a teacher that stuck up for somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Now, on the flip side, there could have been an asshole teacher with me falling asleep, could have sent me out to the principal's office and got sent home for the day or got detention.
Or, if they were really an asshole, they could have, let you sleep told the other classmates not to say shit. They could have called down to the principal's office. The principal could have walked in, and by the time you wake up, the principal's looking you in your face like, you're suspended.
You see? So there are cool teachers.
And then there are very bad teachers.
You know, and there's good counselors. And counselors don't give a shit. There are good principals. And there's principals who really just want to see the school fail.
Now, I have yet to meet a cool principal.
Mine was Principal Mills.
I've had some pretty cool assistant principals. But other than that, the rest were dicks.
You know, but with everything though, there are the bad teachers, but bad teachers need to wake up and realize something, that if you take some notes from these good teachers, A, you'll be more successful at your job.
B, your students will actually give a shit about you.
And C, you will enjoy coming to work again.
And D, your students will enjoy seeing you at work and won't pray for you to be sick or dead so they can have a substitute.
You know, so just take some notes from these good teachers, because they can bring you a long way.
Hell yeah.
You know, it will also help the educational level in our country go back up.
Because it's ridiculous that they always blame the lack of grades, the low standard of grades, or whatever on just the students. Because it's not just the students; it's the way they are taught.
Right, it's how they're taught by the teachers.
Exactly.
And it's how the school districts and the school systems and the school program runs.
Yep.
And if it has a bad program, of course you're going to fail. And you're being set up to fail. And that's why a lot of these kids who graduate high school and go to college, they get so far behind in college because they don't know what's going on, because they weren't taught the proper things they needed to equip them for college through high school and middle school and elementary.
Yep.
There's people who I know that I knew that were in high school, all right, who didn't even know like half of the stuff you should know about, like algebra. And they didn't know like basic English and the way it's structured and you write it. You know, they didn't know it, and their handwriting looked like something that my son did. You know. It's because they were improperly taught. But if they had teachers that were willing to take the time to teach them, there would have been successful rate. So therefore, if these teachers come together, and the bad ones take some note from the good ones, the bad programs out there take notes from the good programs that work in some districts, bring them all together, it could be a success again. You know, instead of the youth becoming more dumb as each year goes by, because technology. Okay? That's part of it. I think cell phones, right, have no place in school. None. They have no place.
Now, I agree immensely with that, but to a point. Now, say for instance, something were to happen, like family emergency, or God forbid another 9/11 type thing, then you would want to have your cell phone to get a hold of your children or to get a hold of your parents so they can get you out of the school.
Yeah, but that's why there's the main line at the school.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's why the parent calls the school and says it's a family emergency. And that's why when some major thing happens, it goes across national news and every school is called.
And then, to that point, there are some parents who don't want the schools to have their cell phone numbers or home numbers because they don't want to hear bullshit.
Well, then that's the parents' stupidity, because parents need to be involved in their children's education just as well. They need to put a hand in it and make sure that their kid is being successful.
True that.
You know, and when I mean successful, A, B's, and C's, successful. Okay? D's and E's unacceptable. In my eyes. I can swing with the C, you know? C's, that means you tried. You know? That means you tried and you still got to pass the grade. Cool. You know? But The parents need to be involved.
Indeed.
And that's another part of the lack. The failure rate is teachers, students, parents. If a kid comes home and you get home from work and your child wants all of a sudden go out, right? You need to tell them, I want to see your homework before you go out because I'm going to check it, you know, to make sure it's done. And if the child hasn't done it, you need to send the kid back up to his room or on the kitchen table where I had to do mine and do their homework, you know. I always tell people, listen, students, when you get out of school, here's an idea. Before you do anything, go home, get yourself snacks, sit down at the table, do your homework real fast, and guess what? You have the rest of the night.
And the sooner you get that shit done, the sooner you stop bitching, moaning, and complaining about, oh, this is hard, this is dumb, I don't want to do this. The sooner you get all that whining bullshit out the way, the more time you have to actually go out and have fun with your friends.
You see? It's easy. Now, another thing parents need to do, if they're suspecting their child not bringing home their homework or, you know, etc., I did that on my dad a couple times, I'm not going to lie. So you know what my dad did? He called the school. He went to the school, got every homework assignment that I missed, and I had to do it all. Brought it home and said, if you ever miss homework again, you're going to have a lot more than this. And he put this huge stack right in front of me. He went to my school, went to all my teachers, got every assignment, every homework assignment I missed, and then he do every bit of it. But that's why I was even though I was a little rocky my first couple of years there because I was a slacker, right? But then towards the end, I started to do my work, right? And because of that, I was able to graduate. I went into the military, obtained 2 bachelor's degrees, you know. But that's how you do it. My dad was involved in my schooling. I had teachers that were willing to be there, except for a few at that time. And I started to put forth the initiative after my 10th grade year. In my 9th and 10th grade year, I was a major slacker. My 11th and 12th grade year, I wanted to graduate. You know, but there was key elements there.
Yeah.
Me, teachers, and my dad. You had a structure. Now, if you have that structure, you will be successful. And then the educational rate and our level of education will go up, will rise here in the States rather than falling. Eliminate cell phones from the classroom. Eliminate them. They're a distraction. That's what they are. They are a major distraction. Because the teacher could be talking up there, and meanwhile you're texting away on your phone. Not even paying a lick of attention to what the teacher is saying.
And that's when you get those teachers that'll snatch your phone and toss it out the window.
So
on a nice rainy day.
They're just not good for the classroom. Check them in your locker before you go to class.
Right? Turn the bits off.
Be respectful.
Get you an edumacation, you retarded, illiterate, simple ass bitches.
Stop using short term. What I mean by that, LOL, OMG. Because you're going to start writing like that motherfucking shit. Stop shorthanding.
So,
on that note, this has been Viewer's Choice
2013.
The Real People Power. Free your mind. And tomorrow night, we'll be back with some more stuff. And on that note, if you're not down with anything we had to say tonight, we got 2 words for you. Shut this.